YouTube, click the code, come on over. We're going to be just chatting and crafting today, you guys. I know I look weird. It's a weird angle, right? Trying to set this thing up where I could show you guys what I'm doing and not look like an idiot. Not going to be in the same realm. So I just wanted to say hi so you guys could see me. Now to actually put you guys down where you guys can actually see what I'm going to be doing today. So anyways, if you guys like these chat and crafts with me, I'm going to kind of turn you guys sideways a little bit. Let me know and we can do more of these. I got a lot on the schedule. I'm turning you guys kind of sideways. If that messes you guys up, let me know and we can make some adjustments. I got all kinds of crafts today, you guys, and I figured we would just kind of chat and work on things until, you know, until we're done. And I've got pretty much all day to do this with you. And so let me show you guys a couple of things that I was thinking about making today. So if you guys don't know me, I am Jen with Four Hearts ABCs, and I have a YouTube channel. I'm not real super good at doing the lives on YouTube. So I decided, since I'm a Whatnotter as well, and Whatnot has the capability of being live on YouTube at the same time, I might as well do both, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start crafting here on Whatnot because I love my Whatnotters. And then we're going to be streaming on YouTube and it's going to be great. So you guys, I got this. Thank you for sharing the live stream. I appreciate you. I got this a while back, you guys. I actually think it was from Goodwill, but I actually think I got it in at the bins. If you don't know what the Goodwill bins is, it's basically a bunch of items that were either donated directly to that particular Goodwill, or it is stuff that didn't sell at the regular Goodwill, and then the bins is kind of like its last ditch effort to um get into somebody else's hands. So normally when you go to the Goodwill bins, or outlet as they call it, sorry, taking a drink of my coffee my son just brought to me. They charge by the pound for the most part, and so I paid like next to nothing for this thing. I live in Southern Oregon, and where I live, we lose power quite a bit because we live in the forest and trees like to fall down and take out the power lines. I had it happen just the other day, and on Monday actually. So anyways, so I was collecting all kinds of these lamps, and this one looked pretty masculine to me. Like, I thought for sure my husband was going to be all about it because it looked pretty masculine, and he actually really doesn't like it. So I decided, okay, then if you don't like it, I'll pass it on to somebody else. But I might as well upcycle it, right? This one's actually really cool. So the glass is in really great condition. But this actually has this piece that, the whole fuel thing comes right out. I love that. Hello, Paint and Twine. How are you, my friend? We are chatting and crafting. This is my first chat and craft, which I'm very excited to get back into the craft world. And I think you're working on the same thing, my friend, aren't you? So you guys, if you are crafters on here, while I'm just jabbering away about my different ideas, let me know, like, what kind of crafts do you guys do? Or do you guys just like to watch other people craft? Like, what's your thing? So this still has its original, like, felt on it. Um, Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. Manifesting good things. I tell you, I just feel like I just need to go back in and do what I was doing before this last year on Whatnot, but I want to get back into my crafting roots, I guess I should say. And so this is part of it. So anyways, you guys, so I'm going to paint this. Okay, I'm going to paint it up, and then we're going to do some things to it. Okay, so that's one of the projects that's going to be painted. I have another project that I want to paint, and you guys are gonna, I think, have to help me like decide what to paint and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So this was my idea on this one is I really like this cloche idea. This is a really pretty cloche, and I don't have a base. So I have this plate here. It's a Pure One plate. It's really nice, but it's kind of outdated and I don't really see it selling as a one-off. So I want to paint it and I want to make it a cloche base. And even though it doesn't, like the cloche doesn't go all the way to the edge, I can like foresee a wreath kind of going down around it for part of the arrangement. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to work out really well. So we're going to have to decide on the color for this one. And then another project I had in mind today, I picked up this beauty. Isn't this so cute, you guys? So this is how I found it, just like this. Somebody else did all the handiwork. I am not a artist. I like to say I am crafty. Hello, my friend. I like to say I'm crafty. I am not artistic. Okay. So this is not my artwork, but somebody donated this and I picked it up because I loved it. And so I upcycled it a little bit and we're gonna finish the job. So this is somebody else's handiwork on this side. And on this side, I used my um, I used my engraver and my laser printer, and I printed out a strawberry. Let me see what I could. Strawberry rhubarb pie. Okay, and for the most part, you can see it, but I feel like there's like spots where it's not quite as seeable, right? So I think what I want to do is just add some dark wax in there and see if that can bring out the wording a little bit better. And then I want to distress the edges and make it really cute. So this is another project I wanted to finish. Um, and then the last one I think I'm actually wanting to do today on the live is this one, you guys. So I found this at the bins, and we all know what this is. I mean, it's just a plain old cheap kids. It probably went like on the top of one of those multi toys. You know what I mean? Where they have like the little thing and you pull it out, and underneath the little box is all the things, right? But this was by itself, and I thought, oh my gosh, well, it's a good piece of wood, and it's already got this on it, and so it's a little bright for my taste. I want to distress it. I want to dull it down a little bit, and then I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chalk Couture, but I do have this Chalk Couture transfer on here. I no longer use their paste that they have. I used to be a designer with them. So instead, I'm just going to use chalk paint. Right? Okay, well, my friend, I'm going to do a destash of my Chalk Couture. That is my plan. So I will be making a show of destashing said items. Because I was with them for like the last 5 years. I started right after they became a company. So those are the projects I kind of wanted to work on today. I have them kind of ready. Another thing I just wanted to share with you guys and get your guys' opinion on before the end of the show is I am going to be doing a raid train coming up this month. I believe it's going to be this month. They might move it to the first of next, and it's going to be a second chance raid train. Okay. So this item here, I was given by my, I guess it would be my aunt-in-law. Um, and it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty outdated, right? So I'm going to do this project during a live, and I'm going to sell it right after the live. That is part of the rules of that raid train. So I'm really excited. This is the one I've decided to do. I just got to pick the color that I want to change this to, because my idea is to paint it and distress it back and show all the fun details in a fun color. So that's one project I just wanted to kind of share with you guys. So bookmark that, because even if it moves dates, I will be able to you'll be able to see it. and join me for that one. And then the last one I wanted to share with you guys before we actually like jump and get started is um also at the end of the month, and this one's sticking on the 31st for sure. I am actually putting on a raid train, and it's a contest. And the contest is you take something that is like you got it for free, it's like $0, or you know, pretty cheap, you got it for less than $5 kind of a thing, and it's pretty well needing some love, right? And then you turn it into something absolutely amazing and then you sell it. And the person who sells the best item, or for the most, I should say, sells their item for the most, is technically the winner and they get bragging rights. So I'm going to participate, but I'm not actually technically in the contest part of it. But here we go, you guys. This is my item. This is what I've decided to do. So, obviously it is a stool. It's a cute little squatty thing, but it's hideous. Like, yuck. Okay. So this is my project for that. So stay tuned because I'm going to be doing that one as well. Not today, but I am definitely going to be redoing that and putting it up on the 31st for that. Oh, you know what? Absolutely. My friend, message me that you're interested in the Zero to Hero raid train. And yeah, I definitely knew what you were talking about. And I will I'll message you because January is full, but we are starting to take people for February. The only thing is the part of the rules is that the person who wins in um, in January gets an automatic spot for February. So just know that. So if there's only one spot left, it's going to be claimed. So, okay, you guys. So here is my thoughts. So I want to paint this. Okay, this is going to be the first project I work on, and I want to paint it. And then on these are actually flat spots. I hope you guys can like see those. So these are like flat spots. So I was thinking about putting decoupaging some um, rice paper on those spots and making it a little feminine and fun, and then distressing back and all the kinds of stuff. So which one should I go with? Which color scheme? Should I go with the red? Should I go with the pink? I have different colors of paint to put with both. I do like to use the red. Oh, I like the red too. I do like to use the DIY paint line. Okay, I used to sell it when I had my brick and mortar, and so I'm using up what I have left. And then when I red second choice, um, and when I don't get them from my own stash, if I run out, I do get, you guys, my DIY paint line, my IOD items and stuff like that, from Sammy at unicorndustdesigns.com. She's also here on Whatnot, and she's on YouTube and all the things, right? I get my stuff from her, and I got the rice paper from her as well. But this is, I believe, Roy Cycle rice paper, and Sammy has it right now in her buy it now. So Unicorn Dust Designs is what it is. And Little Miss Crafty, will you tag her so that they can find her if they need to? Anyways, and then but she is going to stop selling Roy Cycle. I know that. But she does still have some in her buy it now right now. So anyways, okay, so if I go with the red, I'm going to go with Sandy Blonde. I think that's a really good color. I think it's going to play off of that really nice. My only other option for this one would be, oh, see, I still got my price tag on there. Thank you so much, my friend, would be crinoline. It's like a white with a, like a little hint of yellow in there, but I think that could play really nicely with this paper as well. If I went with the pink, because it has like a gray undertone to it, I probably would go with the tarnished pearl. This is a white with a gray undertone, and so that's probably the color I would use for that one. So do we have any more votes I have 2 votes for the red, one and no votes for the pink so far. I kind of was leaning towards the red myself. I love this. I think it's pretty enough that it could go for Valentine's, obviously. I think it still could be in the springtime, and then it definitely has a fall vibe to it that could be really pretty. Right? The tarnished pearl with the pink is really pretty. Do you think is that your vote? Are you changing? I think you guys though, I really do like this I really do like the sandy blonde with this, but I think it's going to pop more. This is going to pop more on the spots with this crinoline. So I think I might just go with the crinoline and not go with the sandy blonde if I'm going to do that. Just because decoupage paper, you really want to put a very light color underneath. You definitely could just put it right on your surface and decoupage it right on, but it is not going to pop as well if it's not um, on a lighter. So, okay. So here we go, you guys. Everybody, are we voting? What are we voting? What are we thinking? Are we going red or are we going pink? What have we decided? What have we decided? Okay, and then you guys, because I did used to, I did sell DIY paint. I do still have a lot of their items. I used to sell this in my brick and mortar, and then I sold it in. I had a like a vintage booth as well, and I decided to close that down. The lady that ran the vintage booth, she really focused a lot on furniture. And living here in Southern Oregon and the weather, I just could not flip furniture fast enough for her store. I mean, which is not a bad problem to have, but I just felt like I was constantly um, like having to explain myself to her because she was constantly like, when are you bringing in more? When are you bringing in more? And I'm like, I'm trying. It's just I have to go in and out and in and out, with all the furniture. So that was part of the problem. Okay, so you guys, am I going with the red or am I going with the pink? It was exhausting and it just made me feel, not bad. I mean, just like not good, red. Okay. I got to vote for red. I think that's the way I want to go. Yeah. Okay. So if ever you get a paper like this, you just kind of look at what is going to be the best undertone with it. But I think I like the red too. So we'll set that pink aside. We'll go with the red. Obviously, before you can decoupage anything on, you got to get your paint on and you got to let it like cure and dry and all the things. So with DIY paint, you guys, this is all natural, but it is going to separate a little bit. You're going to have to shake it up. You're going to have to give it all the good things. You know what I mean? So welcome in, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me as we are doing our chat and craft with me. You guys, I did put some items in my bin. I mean, there are some craft items in there. I don't have a whole lot of craft items right now. I have to still go through my stash because I haven't been focusing on my crafting as much as I should. That's one of my things I want to do in this new year. Um, and so I haven't really gone through my stuff, but that's going to start increasing as we go along. But there are some things in there if you just feel the need to buy something today. Okay, so you guys, this is one of the DIY paints. I love it. And so I'm just going to slap them on there. My first coat is going to be messy. It's just going to go on. And if I get it on the very bottom and it doesn't look good, that's okay. Yes, the Zero to Hero is going to be so good. So that's okay if it gets messy because it is chalk paint, you guys. So I can wipe it off and wash it off in the end. Even after it dries, I can wash it off. See, I'm a messy painter. And so that way, I don't have to stress, you know. And you guys, chalk paint, if you're not familiar, it really does stick to everything. Everything. Yes, I like to wet distress too. Not to say that I don't sand distress. I do have my sanding paper over here. Um, but like I can't sand around yes, everything. Everything it sticks to everything. I love chalk paint. The only bad negative to chalk paint is that you do have to seal it. Um, but like if you seal it with a wax though, I had something yesterday that I was showing and it was, I had painted it with chalk paint and stuff. And I waxed over the top of it to seal it in because obviously you don't want your stuff just to come off. But I, was able to tell people like if you don't like this design, even though I put wax on it, get it like heat up a really hot washcloth and wash it off. Why not? Wash it off if you don't like it. Because the wax um will still melt. You know what I mean? Um yeah, see you guys, I am a messy painter. It is a thing. Um I used to paint, you guys, so because I did do furniture and I had a brick and mortar, um, you would come into my store and you would find me on the floor sitting painting furniture, um, with chalk paint and just getting messy and all the things. I just would put down a drop cloth, put my piece of furniture on it right in the middle of the store because that's the space I had, and we would just go for it. So you guys, your first coat, you're just gonna make it messy. I mean, it's gonna be a thing, right? Just do what you gotta do, get it done. I'm gonna go over and set this close to my fireplace, so that it will dry a little bit faster with the heat because of course I was talking about how I haven't really been in my craft zone space for very long. I've been kind of focusing on other things. So my supplies are kind of here, there, and everywhere. Like, is that, am I the only one? Like, I don't know. I just decided, I really need to get back into it. So, okay, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it right in here. Okay. We're going to make sure that doesn't dry out while we're waiting. I'll put that aside. We're going to clean up my space a little bit. You guys, do you see this table? Like, this is one of those like plastic foldable tables. And I didn't realize they could stain so bad. Did anybody else realize that? Um, Right? Yes, I have craft stuff everywhere. And it's so bad that when I can't find it, my solution is to go buy another one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to search for that. I know I have it, but I don't have time to search for it. So we're going to just do the unthinkable and just go buy another one. Yeah, that's my world. So I did tell my kids though, like, if you want me to not buy so much, you need to help me like keep it in a space that is good. Okay, this piece, you guys, I want to distress it because I do need to wax over it after I distress it and put a finish on it, and I need that to dry before I could do the thing. So I'm gonna sand it over here so you guys don't have to be shooken or whatever. Um, and I'm using like a really heavy duty sandpaper. Sorry if you guys hate the noise. My son hates the noise. Like he can't do it. Like it's too much for him. I guess it's kind of like the whole chalk on the or what am I saying? Like yeah, chalk on the chalkboard kind of a thing for him. Um, but when you're a crafter, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Am I right? Like, just get it. Get it done. Okay. I think that's probably pretty good. I want to get the sides a little bit. Nails on the chalkboard, right? Yeah, sorry. It's a thing. Okay. So I probably would have normally used a lighter sandpaper. This is 80 grit, y'all. But this is what I found when I was searching. So that's what we went with. We went with 80 grit. So that's sanded. As you can see, maybe, possibly, I went one direction, I went the other direction. I think that's probably okay because I did have that heavier sandpaper. I think that's okay because we already have like that direction of items going on, if you know what I mean. So here we go. We're just gonna sand that off. I just wanted to basically rough it up, distress it, and make it where it wasn't so shiny. It does have like a varnishy kind of feel to it, which makes sense because I think it was a kid's toy. I mean, we know how they are. You got to be able to wipe things down with them. Okay, let's see what we have to work with here. So again, price tag because that's how we roll. Okay, so this is DIY's Dark and Decrepit. And this is a liquid patina. So this is going to seal in. It's going to work kind of like a stain. If and I'm just shaking it up. I just want to make sure it's good and like mixed together because DIY does use natural products. So you know, natural stuff, it does tend to separate. So here we go. And get off that top skin. It's kind of gross. All right, there we go. Dark and Decrepit. I know, I love it too. Like, it's like, I don't know. I used to use, what is it? It's the brand that Walmart used to carry or does carry or whatever. I'm just going to use a paper towel, y'all. And I used to use that a lot. No, shoot. I want to say it was in like their chalk paint line. Waverly, yeah. So I used to use their wax or whatever it was called, the dark wax and stuff. But this is so much better. Like it's so smooth and I actually, you know, when I started venturing outside of just the Walmart type of craft supplies, I should say. Chocator actually, or not Chocator, oh my gosh. DIY paint actually is one of the paint lines I first tried out. Oh they're using something else. I don't know. And so I saw a YouTuber that I really like to watch, and they were using the DIY paint. And then I saw another YouTube person using it, and I thought, you know, I might as well give it a try. And oh my gosh, the wax that DIY has sold me. That's actually what talked me into selling their line is that I just absolutely love their waxes. You know, chalk paint is chalk paint for the most part, I think. I do like the coverage you get with DIY, but I have had success with some other brands. But sorry guys, I know I'm off screen, but I'm just getting the edges and I don't want to shake you guys all up. So they are awesome. The cottage colors, I do like those. I just don't use them as often because a lot of the times I am wanting to wet distress and, you know, do all the things. But I am thinking about this table that is underneath me. I am kind of thinking about getting me some cottage colors and, oh, I got like a fingerprint right here. Y'all ever do that? I hate that. So there we go. I think it's good. What do you guys think? Is that better? Way better, right? The color is better. I like it. I like it. Okay. So, set that aside somewhere. So you guys, so I'm thinking about painting my table with that um cottage color. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think of that idea? It was either that or like maybe get contact paper, but I felt like contact paper would like scratch or like it would be hard to repair if it got damaged. Does that make sense? And I'm making a mess again. Look at me. Um, Anybody else a messy crafter, y'all? Like, I always laugh because my daughter, it is, oh, I don't think so. I think it is like 8 by 8, maybe an 8 by 8 board. Um, yeah, probably close to 8 by 8, maybe 9 by 9. Little Miss Crafty, because my stencil I want to use, I know that is a 8.5 by 11. So I'm thinking this is probably like 9, maybe 10. It might be 10. Um, Anyways, so what do you guys think of that idea? Should I paint my table? I'm thinking I should, but I don't really know what color I want to paint it. Do I want to, yeah, I don't know, because when I do my shows, like ideally I would have like a really nice buffet under here. But as of right now, currently I have two big, like, um, what do you, I don't even, like chests, I guess. They're modern, but, okay, so it would be, unicorn dust designs.com is where you get it. And it's Sammy. And she's awesome. She sells all kinds of stuff. I always say Sammy's my craft dealer. Okay. She's my craft dealer. It's where I get my stuff. And she's on here and she's amazing. She sells all kinds of stuff. But I love it when she sells her Rusty Crusties and her vintage finds. Here lately, she's kind of like jumped into like vintage jewelry and stuff, and she's really enjoying that. But I do like it when she sells the other items. I'm not really a jewelry person per se, but she has amazing jewelry. Um, like I have whoop, I'm just turning my piece, you guys, so that the fire warms it up a little bit more. Um, I have a um like two wedding rings that my husband's gotten me, and I've got all kinds of beautiful earrings, and so I probably wear earrings um okay. And I almost never put my wedding rings on. First of all, because I'm constantly making a mess of my hands. Second of all, because my weight is always changing or I'm swelling or whatever. And I feel like my rings never fit right. Um, and then you add to that the idea that, you know, whatever. It's just a mess, right? So I don't wear jewelry, you guys. Does anybody else? Like, is jewelry a thing for you guys? Vintage jewelry, what do you think? Yay or nay? Okay, so you guys, this is another project I wanted to do today. And I am gonna use chalk paint, so I'm not gonna have to do any prep work. I did wash it up and oh, that's awesome. Oh, do you go for her for your, does she sell DIY paint? I don't know. I don't know if she sells DIY paint. Um, I've just used Sammy. Okay. I used to use a different person who I actually first started going through, and I tend to try to be loyal unless my people don't have it. Oh, Fusion. See, I haven't used Fusion, but I've really wanted to. Um, but so I try to always, kind of stay loyal, I guess, to my people. But Sammy has been so good to me personally. Like, she's so sweet. And we've just really had a good time bonding over, whatnot and all of that. I tend to. I tend to go to her. But okay, you guys, I'm thinking I want to do this in a blue color. Um, right? Yeah, Susie is really sweet. I just haven't had very many experiences with her yet outside of raid trains. Um, but you guys, so for this, I'm thinking patriotic myself. because I have started to do a monthly train here on Whatnot. It is the Stars and Swipes train. And so every month on the 4th of the month, we're selling patriotic items. And so I kind of feel like I want to go that route with this. So I'm thinking I want to paint it blue. So I have a couple different blue options that I was thinking of. Now realize that the color you're seeing, it's gonna dry probably like one shade lighter than the color you're seeing because it is chalk paint, but then I'll have to seal it in, and sealing it will probably take it close to back to this color. Okay. So we have Hey Sailor. So there's that color there. Hey Sailor, pretty good. Okay. We have Pedal Pusher. I think that one's really good too if we wanted to go lighter, you know. And then we have this one, and this is Blue Iris, and this one is kind of almost like a brighter neon-y blue. You know, it's got a tiny hint of purple to it, but I think it still kind of falls in that same realm. Like what are you guys thinking? Like what do you think? Which should I go with? Give me your vote. Give me your vote. Hey Sailor or okay. Okay. So we've got one for Hey Sailor or Blue Iris. That's the vote so far. And let's see if we have any other votes. Anybody else have an opinion on this one? And while you guys are voting, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm actually thinking of putting like red, white, and blue in here. Maybe like some little figurines, maybe a wreath of flowers around the outside. I haven't quite put that part together. Normally that's what I would do. I would get all the pieces to the project and then I would pick out the color I wanted to do. But because I'm just trying to get ahead of the game, I'm just going to do this first and then I'll get the other pieces to go with it. You know, I'm just going to kind of do it in the opposite way, you know. So let me know what you guys are thinking on that. And my piece that I painted earlier is definitely dry now. So, okay, yeah. And I might even do some light, some dark of the reds. And then I could also do either like white or creams. So it just kind of depends on, you know, what color I go with and what it ends up looking like in the end. So, I don't know. I'm kind of, you know what? We're going to go with Blue Iris. I think that one's really pretty. I think it's going to be poppy. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have a pop to it. It's going to be really pretty. So this is the one we're going to go with. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute because I want to get um, my second layer of paint on this one um, before I change colors of my brush. And I want to make sure that this is good and done so that we can get to decoupaging it here in just a little bit. So let's put more of the crinoline on this. And there we go. Okay, you guys, here goes the second coat. Now you're going to find with this DIY paint, the second coat is going to do so much better. I mean, the coverage is really good, but I do something a little bit different. So once I get this second coat on here, you're going to find that I'm going to go back and kind of stipple just because I don't like paint strokes on my stuff. I put it on kind of thick and then I go on and stipple it, and that kind of helps take care of some of that, the paint strokes and stuff. Of course, I have a bristle right in it, you know. Get out of there. Oh my goodness. So you guys, Little Miss Crafty is also a crafter. So what kind of stuff do you do, Little Miss Crafty? I know I've seen a lot of your like upcycles with you've painted some of your, oh my gosh, look at me, I'm a mess. rolling pins, and then you've done the IOD on the rolling pins, and that's super fun. What other kinds of things do you do? I know you're a scrapbooker, or I shouldn't say scrapbooker, a stamper, and you do stamping. Now you guys, with the chalk paint, you'll notice, like, look, I'm kind of rubbing some of that paint off, because you can reactivate your paint by wetting it with the second coat. Sometimes that happens, which is part of why wet distressing is so awesome. But you gotta kind of be careful, you know. I tend to be heavy-handed, and so I think that's why I do that with my with my second coat, which means, you know, I might go back with a third coat before I stipple. But we're also going to distress this, so it's really not a huge deal. But let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so honestly, Little Miss Crafty, so she said that she started with paper crafting and then has moved into DIYs and that kind of stuff. Yes, I absolutely am kind of in the same realm. I started my crafting journey actually just kind of decorating around the house and just loving that, like home interior. I actually wanted to be a interior designer in my younger days. And I hate when you get a new brush and it just like wants to spit out all of its little loose bristles at you. But I wanted to be an interior decorator. That was, you know, that was my thoughts until I realized, you know, you got to go do a lot of schooling for all that. And I was like a young mom, and I'm like, I'm not up for all that. So I didn't go that route, but that was kind of where I was. And then everybody was jumping on board with the idea of doing all the home parties and stuff. And one of my sisters actually joined a company that sold candles. And she, you know, tried to talk me into joining her on that journey. And I was just like, you know, I'll support you and I'll buy from you and such, and I'll host parties and that kind of thing, but I just can't get passionate about candles, and I can't really sell something that I'm not passionate about. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of avoided that and just kind of went on my way. And then I went to my first stamping party and I was like, oh, heaven's sakes, I think I could get behind this. This is something I could totally see myself doing. Um, okay, back over by the fireplace to warm up and dry out a little bit. And so that's kind of how I started in my business journey, is by doing home parties with a scrapbooking company. And then I went into doing more DIYs and home projects and joined Chalkateur, and then I opened a storefront, and then I left Chalkateur, and like it's just been an evolving situation for me. Welcome in, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We are working on craft projects. What are you guys up to today? Okay, while we're letting that one dry, let's go on and yeah, right? I'll have to, what is your website, Little Miss Crafty? I never remember. Um, okay, so what I'm gonna do for this one, you guys, I'm pretty sure this is pretty dry, that I just put on there. So this should be good to go for my design that I want to put on it. So I have changed the way I do my Chalkateur stencils, you guys. Okay, perfect. Oh, goodness. So I used to exclusively use Chalkateur's paste, right? But since I stopped being a oh Lord Almighty, what am I saying? A contributor for them. I decided that I didn't want to buy anymore, and I had all this DIY paint, and I thought, why not? Let's see. Let's see what we can do. And here's the deal: you absolutely can use your chalk paint with your Chocateur stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. Right? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I joined them right when, like, right after they had started, and I did have a really fun go at it. But my life has just changed since then. So, okay, I have this really thin tray, you guys. So I'm gonna just kind of set this back over here, out of the way. And then I have some water, just regular old water, room temp water. We just poured it out of the tap. Okay, so I'm just gonna set that over in that tray so that when I am done with this, I can put this into that water. I'm not gonna wash it right away, just because we're here live, but after we're done, I am gonna wash it up just with water, let it dry, and I'll be able to use it again. That is the one thing I really do like about Chocateur, is the fact that you can reuse their stuff. It's just, I have so much of it and I don't find myself in my craft room enough, if that makes sense. Maybe that'll change, and but I just don't do it. Okay, so just gonna take this backer off and stick this down. Now this, you guys, this one is America the Beautiful song. And I think it's so good for this because I kind of wanted to go with the Americana theme. And I just want to make sure I'm getting this like somewhat equal on all the sides. Am I close? More on that side, but thank you so much for sharing the live stream. I appreciate you. I am going to start doing these more often, you guys, because I swear. Because like I said, I really want to get back into doing my first love and just getting in here. All right, well, we're just gonna go with it. Maybe I'll just put a string on that side or something. Y'all ever feel like that? Like, come on now. Okay, so it's kind of sort of centered. So you guys, I am going to just use this paintbrush, and I'm just going to use the same color I've been using. I'm just going to use the crinoline. It's a white color. I think it's going to show up really good on the surface. So I think the biggest thing with these is just to go fast, right? Just get her on and move on. So, and if I don't like where it's at because it is chalk paint, I could just wash it off, right? So we're just going to slap her on there. Okay, get where I want you to go. All right, here we go, here we go. I just want to go kind of fast because I want to make sure that it doesn't dry in the screen and that it's got coverage. Okay. And I think that's probably good enough. And if it is not perfect, here we go. We're just going to pull it up. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, it's good, you guys. It's so good. Okay, so if it wasn't perfect, because we did kind of have that distressed look anyways, we could just distress it and make it look like it was purposely not perfect. Am I right? I mean, why not? So I'm just putting this this Chocateur transfer in water and just kind of letting all that paint get wet and stay wet until I get to it. Okay, so that's all I was gonna do to that. That's I might add a little, like I said, a little Judy type situation over there. Add some jute twine or something because it is a little off-centered. But I don't think bad. I mean, I think it's pretty good. Where did I put that? Oh, here we go. You guys, isn't it awesome? I love it. Okay. I think it turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I really do still like the product line of Chocateur. I think that they still have something that is pretty amazing. And so I did get a little bit of extra chalk here, you know, where I went over a little bit. That's okay. That's what we sealed this in for, so that we could go back and get some of this off. So let's see. I didn't want that right there. And so we're gonna carefully take that off. Now this is easier to do when it's wet. Like if you have the steady hands and you're able to wipe back the paint when it's wet, that's going to give you the best results. But all right, I'm almost done with that part. Like I just got a little bit of the music notes section down here, which nobody else probably but me would even notice that. And then I don't think this is supposed to be there. I don't know. I could be wrong. This one is supposed to be there, but I don't think this one is. So we're just gonna, all right. I don't want to mess it up. And you also could go back and like take a scraper and scrape it off as well. So I might do that with the very fine edges. Is just wait till it dries and then scrape it off, if that makes sense. With a light scraper, like nothing that's gonna damage. I have like a oh yeah, Q-tips, right? Yeah. Q-tips are ready to go. Yeah, messy bow would be super duper cute. I like the detail on that. You know what I mean? Like you get so much good detail. And I like that distressed look. Something that would just be really cute, like in a vignette behind something. It's like it's Americana without being in your face, if that makes sense. So I think this is pretty good. I might add, like I said, a little jute here on the side because I did get it a little off centered. A little bit of jute, maybe a messy bow, maybe just leave it with jute. We'll see how it goes for the actual, you know. But as far as the crafting portion of it, this is pretty much it. This is the way it's going to be. I think it turned out really good and I'm super happy with it. So project number 1 checked off the box. I can put that away and move on. Let's go check on our other piece over here, see if it's dry. It's probably dry enough for me to do my little stippling real fast so that we can get moving on to the next color I wanted to use. So let's do that real fast. And what I'm going to do is the flat parts where I know I'm going to be decoupaging, I am not going to add any more paint there. I think the paint coverage is just fine there. And normally with the stippling, you guys, I would not use this brush that I'm using. Normally I would be all about my little chippy brushes, but of course I couldn't find those this morning. You know, that's a thing, right? So, hello, Refined at the Lake. How are you, my friend? We are just chatting and crafting and doing all the things. What are you up to today? What are you up to today? I'm going to be going on tonight and doing a live show or live get together. Not really going to be doing a show. It's going to be kind of like a little giveaway situation. Gathering people up because I just want to go and raid into a dear friend and highlight her and how awesome she is. So I think you were talking about having a show tonight too and rating as well at the end of the show. Am I right? Did I read that right in one of the posts? All right, you guys. I think this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I like to stipple my paint just because I don't like brush strokes. Even if I'm going to be, you know, giving it some distressing. Like I see that I'm still pulling up a smidge of paint here and there because I am reactivating it. I'm kind of pulling it up on the high spots because that's where my paintbrush is giving more, you know, more pressure, I should say. And so I think that's okay. I think it's okay that it's doing that because it's going to be distressed there anyways. You know what I mean? So, okay, so I'm just wanting to hit like kind of the spots I know I'm not going to be decoupaging over. And then, boy, there goes another string, another bristle, I should say. And then after this completely dries, like we're gonna do this real fast, and then I'm gonna set it aside to completely dry really, really good. And then we're going to move on and paint that blue tray and get that ready to go so that I can get that project finished. And then we're going to move on to the strawberry project. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be doing this with you guys and getting my projects taken care of, because Lord knows I need to, you know. And what a great thing to focus on for the new year is just getting back in the craft room, getting these projects done, right? Done. And hanging out with friends, right? I mean, nothing's better than hanging out with friends. Does anybody go to like craft retreats or anything like that? Don't forget your top side here. Sorry if I'm bonking you guys. Does anybody go like to craft retreats where you go with a bunch of ladies? I know that Little Miss Crafty, you guys, if you did not know, Little Miss Crafty has a event house. I wish I lived closer. I wish I was in Kentucky. I definitely would be heading to Little Miss Crafty's more often and getting in on her craft space that she rents out, you guys. People go and they rent her space from her and they stay the weekends, and oh my goodness. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, right? Your happy house. Okay, so I made a royal mess of my water over here. So let me, sorry y'all. You guys get to see my elbow. Because of course I can't, yeah, I just can't craft without making a mess. Okay, so I'm kind of sort of rinsed out my brush, and I'm just kind of getting most of the crinoline out of it. I know I'm not going to get all of it out, and that's okay, because I'm just going to be doing my first coat with it in there, and then my second coat should be good. Okay, so there we go. I've got kind of sort of a clean brush to work with for my next color. Okay, so you guys, let me know, what are you guys' current craft projects? What are you currently working on, or what's on your craft project to-do list? I know we all have one. You know, it's that project that's been sitting there looking at you and you're like, one of these days, I am actually going to tackle that project. So let me know, what is that project for you? I have a million of them, honestly. I think after, outside of doing these, you know, projects to sell, of course, a personal project that I really need to get started on, is my daughter's like scrapbook. I don't scrapbook in chronological order. I actually do it. Oh yeah. Yeah, your rolling pins, Little Miss Crafty, are super good. I know everybody loves them. But I don't scrapbook, you guys, in chronological order. I never have. And so I don't have a single, I've been scrapbooking technically for 25 years, and I don't have a single book done. Does that surprise anyone? I have a lot of books in the works, but nothing actually done because I don't scrapbook in chronological order. And so there we go, right over the pure one. No one will know. So I don't have anything accomplished, but not technically anyways. But my daughter is getting ready to graduate in a year, which is so crazy to even think about that she is in her junior year right now. And I've done my boys' school year kind of stuff, like normal school year or school days type of scrapbooking pages. But my daughter is a very active girl. She has um, she's a cheerleader, she's in volleyball, she's in softball, she's in competition cheer. Like she's got so many things. She's gone to all the dances. Whereas like I think my Austin, my oldest, he went to prom 2 years. He went to prom 2 years. His junior year, he took a girl and she was a senior, he was a junior. And so he took her. And then his senior year, he went by himself because he just didn't want to miss out, which totally was cool. So he went to the dances, but right. Well, okay. So I started scrapbooking when Austin was probably about 9 months to a year old. And I really took to it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the creative process of it. Hello, my friend. How are you? I enjoyed the creative process of it and all that, right? But and then when I started selling paper crafting items, I really, really got into it. Like I had all the things. But because like my sister who really was into scrapbooking with me, she did everything in chronological order. Like she had her pictures, set up for, from January 1st through the year, right? Like everything was in chronological order. And I just don't like my brain doesn't work that way. I can't just look at something and be like, well, this is what I'm going to do to it. So instead, I took my time and I just would do what I felt, you know, like I inspired to do, so to say. So I don't do it in chronological order, which means I have a lot of really, a lot of scrapbook pages done over the last 25 years, but no albums actually completed. You know what I mean? And which means over the years, as the trends have changed, will make my scrapbooks really eclectic, so to say. Hello, my friend. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, you guys, this is the one I'm going to work on while I'm waiting for paint to dry. So I got this board. It looked like this when I got it. Hello, how are you? So I loved the painting on it. I did not do it because I am not an artist. I am a crafter, not an artist. I'm like that person who can draw stick figures, and the only way you know it's a girl versus a boy is because the girl has a triangle dress on and long hair, which nowadays doesn't really mean anything, right? Okay, so I did not paint this, but I found it like this, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I had to save it. So the other side, I actually laser cut in a strawberry rhubarb recipe for it. So I really like the way it turned out. I wish that like all of it was like that burnt distressed look that you see, but some of it is just really light in there. So I'm going to add some distressing into that, or some wax into that, so that it'll stand out. And I'm going to distress the edges and we're going to wax it. And let's see how it turns out. I think it'll turn out pretty good. Again, sorry if you hate the chalk on the chalkboard sound. My son does, and I'm going to do it off camera so that you guys don't have to be shaken up while I go through and do the sanding on this board. I'm just going to do all the edges of it. But I figured this was a good time to get this one finished. We're coming up on strawberry season, you guys, which I personally love. Um, we have wild strawberries that grow out here in our forest, but I never get to see them go into full bloom and the fruit actually get onto them because the deer eat them. The deer love the strawberry bushes, you know, and so we never actually get strawberries, but um they are pretty. The little white flowers on them and such. It was really funny, a funny story. I actually bought a strawberry plant and was going to like grow it in a pot because I knew the deer ate all the wild stuff that grows, you know, out there. And so I had it up on a table and um outside on a table, and I come outside and it's on the ground. And of course the deer have eaten all the flowers off of all the buds off of it. And I'm like, these stinking kids, thinking that my kiddos, you know, took it off of the table. And so I'm like so irritated with my children. And I go and I put the strawberry plant back on the table. And later that day, I'm waiting for the school bus to drop the kids off. And here comes a deer mama and her doe, and her fawn. And what does she do? She goes over to my table. She picks up my plant off of the table and puts it on the ground for her baby to eat. Okay, not my kiddos. Not my kiddos. Apparently, it was Mama Deer that was moving my stuff around. Oh my gosh. I felt bad because here I just assumed my kids were being, you know, rotten, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, the deer like to eat all of our stuff. That's okay. I would rather have, sorry guys if I'm shaking you. I'd rather have the deer and see them all the time than to have plants, to be honest. Okay, there we go. It's sanded. Let me grab a paper towel and like make sure there's no dust and yuck on here. Get it all cleaned up so that when I go to wax it, it's not all weird. Hello, you guys. How are you? Thank you for joining today. We're just kind of chatting and working on some craft projects. Okay, so we're almost dry with the blue, and I'm going to turn my white real fast. Hold on. Let me grab that and just turn it so I know that it is getting really, really dry because we're going to decoupage it, and you don't want to decoupage with wet paint at all. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna give this um, some darkener, I should say. This is a liquid patina. This is DIY, and this is the Dark and Decrepit again. And so I'm going to give it a mix up real fast, and then we're just going to apply this. Let's see if it does what I'm hoping it will do. I'm hoping not only the edges that I just distressed will it soak into, but I'm really hoping it's going to fill in some of these letters that did not get darkened by my laser printer. So hello, you guys. I'm so excited you guys are popping in on my show. This is my first craft and chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Refined. I appreciate you being here. Darn work. I know. The whole 9 to 5, right? Oh, you guys, I think it might do it. So, like I said, I did this on my laser printer, and I was a little sad because it didn't technically burn all the letters all the way. And I was like, dang it, I totally needed it to be all the same. So I'm really hopeful this is going to work, and I'm kind of thinking it's gonna, which is awesome. I love it when a plan comes together. And of course, just to keep the look looking pretty cohesive. I'm going to, make sure that I rub it all over the whole board and not just, oh goodness, you guys, how exciting. This is totally working. Um, I know. You guys technically retired. This sounds really crazy because I'm really not that old. I technically retired about, let's see, he's 20. Okay, so about 20 years ago, now. And then I started like my craft business like soon after that. So I've been crafting from home and doing, like home parties and craft shows. And then I had a brick and mortar for a while. Tried that for a year, and that, you guys, not that that wasn't a good experience. It absolutely was. It's just the area I live in, and some of you might be able to understand this. It's just the area I live in right now currently doesn't make it my dream. Does that make sense? Like, the homeless problem is an issue with having your own retail space. I had to deal a lot with that in the year that I was there. And, a lot of the times I would say we were open Monday through Saturday. Okay. And we were a kind of like a vintage, um, kind of like a whatnot vintage store, I mean, we had, if you would go into like a booth space, it would be like that, but I did not have booths. People would bring in their consignment items, and then I would place them in vignettes around the storefront, right? So it was really fun. I got to do, like window displays, and that was a lot of fun. And I upcycled furniture there and that kind of thing. But I also offered craft classes, which I absolutely loved doing. That was awesome. I had a big craft space that we would do craft classes and stuff. Okay, you guys, what do you think of this so far? Like, is this like turning out awesome or what? I love how the color is richer, and I love that it filled in those letters. It turned out really good. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. This stuff dries pretty quick. I mean, I don't think it's 100% dry, but it dries pretty quick. So we're gonna do this side, and then, um, because I want it to be completely the same. You know what I mean? On all sides. So I want to make sure everything's done. Um, I am 2 for 2 today. I'm excited about that. Um, So, because crafting doesn't always work out that way. But anyway, so I was in my store, you guys, besides the weekend when my family would come to help. Sometimes they would come, later after work and school. They would come in and help me because I have a really awesome family. Um, but other than that, I was pretty much at my storefront by myself. And my husband tried to talk me into getting a, as he calls it, a cowboy hole puncher, um, to protect myself. And I thought, no, I don't need anything like that. Like, come on. I'm not anti, but at the same time, I'm not the strongest woman out there. And my opinion was, I really don't want to have something like that and give them a weapon if I ever had to pull it out, right? Because I think I could be, you know, strong armed pretty easy. And so anyways, I just thought, no, I don't need anything like that. And I seriously, I was probably open, my store was open for maybe less than a month. And I had a drugged out of his mind, come in, and he was almost like not, it's like he was talking to me, but you couldn't like understand anything he was saying. And all of a sudden he goes to leave, and I'm thinking, oh, thank heavens, he's finally leaving. and he starts fiddling with the front lock to my store. Like he was going to seriously lock me in there with him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just a wake up call. And that was just kind of like my first real experience of the reasons why I ended up saying, this isn't my dream. This isn't what I wanted. So anyways, so I closed my storefront, and little Miss Crafty and me, we were kind of having a really good time the other night. On Monday, I was doing a Monday Madness sale. And I'm gonna have them on Mondays coming up as well. Because when I left my store, which was about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, um, we just kind of made a mad dash to get out of there. In the end, I mean, we tried really hard to organize for the first couple weeks. We knew we weren't going to be staying open. But then at the end, like, we just kind of started just throwing things in buckets, you know what I mean? Well, those buckets have been sitting for almost 2 years now. And I've not seen the items in the buckets for those 2 years. And so I just decided it's finally time. I'm just going to do these Madness Monday sales, and so anything and everything I pull out of the bucket goes for starting bid $3, no matter what it is. Like I pulled out this one of my window displays that I did was a birdhouse display, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was so good, and that birdhouse was in the box. And I stuck to my guns, and I did really good, and I sold it for starting bid of $3 the other day, and it went for more than three, so I felt pretty good about it. But it was one of the items I probably would have kept had I not made that promise that whatever I pulled out was going to go for that. So yeah, so you guys, there are good deals to be had if you guys want them. So so you guys, I'm just kind of making sure that this wax kind of goes in and isn't like sitting on the top. But this turned out really good. What do you guys think? Can you see the recipe on it? Like I can see the recipe. I think it turned out really good. I'm pretty happy with it. I need to utilize I have a little spot right here I don't like on the side. I need to really utilize my laser printer or laser cutter, whatever you call it. I don't know. A lot more. Somebody else, I think it was At Home with Chris. At Home with Chris on here, you guys. She's a great crafter, and she's also a YouTuber. Little Miss Crafty, will you tag her as well so that they can find her? Because she does spell her name a little bit different. She said she had just gotten a laser cutter, so I'm really excited to see what she makes with it. But okay, so here is, oh, sorry, don't mean to shake you. Here is my strawberry rhubarb pie recipe on this side. And then the really pretty hand painted strawberries on this side. I think it turned out really good. Super excited about it. I feel like this definitely saved it from the landfill. Because like this isn't everybody's jam, right? I mean, I love it. But a lot of people aren't into it. This was painted in 79, you guys, 79. And I found it at the bins. So of course I picked it up. And but I think having this on the other side kind of saves it. I think more people will like it. And hopefully it lives a long life in somebody's home. So project number 2 checked off the list today. That's pretty good. I know. Isn't it so good? Like the artist really did a good job on this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Those strawberries are amazing. And like I said, for somebody who is yeah, toll painting, right? For somebody who is what do I want to say? A stick figure kind of artist. This is really good. This is good artistry to me. I always think I'm gonna try one of Bob Ross's painting techniques. You know what I mean? Like I so badly want to be Bob Ross. I have taken those like painting classes where you go and you sit with a bunch of people and paint away. I have done those before, and I actually had a couple of them in my storefront. Somebody else came in and did that for us. Um, and I think I do okay. I mean, I get the gist of it. Um, but like one time, you guys ever see that painting where there's like a girl walking down the tree-lined walkway and she's got the umbrella. So you know it's a girl, but she's got an umbrella. You don't really see her, right? Okay. I did that one and I thought I did an amazing job. Okay, I think this is pretty dry, you guys. We're gonna try. I think I did an amazing job. I felt like it was the best painting I had ever done. I was very excited. And so I bring it home and I'm all proud, but everybody's sleeping by the time I get home from this painting class. And so I just set it on I like put it on the wall because I already had like a nail there. I put it on the wall and I go to bed. And I get up the next morning and I'm getting the kids ready for school. And one of my kiddos is like, "Mom, why did you paint a penguin?" Really? It's not a penguin, you guys. It's a girl. Can't you see the girl? Okay, so that one got donated. Okay, you guys. So this paper here that I'm gonna use. This is the rice paper decoupage paper. This is a Roy Cycle rice paper. I got it from Unicorn Dust Designs, Sammy. And I was just thinking I was going to slap this baby on there wherever. But now that I'm looking at it a little closer, it is directional. Only if you look really super close. Okay, so it has like lettering. Can you see that? It has lettering. I mean, it's kind of like a faint behind the scenes, but I think I will be driving myself crazy if I don't go the direction it's supposed to go. So I think I'm going to at least attempt to make that happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take like the size I think I need. I think I just need this little piece right there. So I'm going to kind of fold this paper and, well, no, I don't want to do that because I don't need all of that. I just need this little bit here. Okay, hold on. Here we go. We're going to do this. Okay, it's a big piece of paper, y'all. Like a really big piece of paper. Okay, I think I just need this little bit here. So I'm going to fold this in half. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it in half again. I mean, I'm not going to really like crease it. It's already got enough creases in it. You know what I mean? I don't want to like make a million creases that I have to fight with later. But I want to get a piece that is easier to cut. Okay, see what I'm saying? Okay. So if I go here, I think if I go right here, I'm going to be able to get plenty enough to be able to decoupage that on and have the space I need. And then I don't have to deal with all this other paper in the way. Okay. So if you look at what I cut off, like I really didn't cut much, just like a strip of this paper. And I still have all of this I'm going to be able to use in a future project. Okay, so here we go. So I have my strip. Again, I don't really want to fight with it, so I'm going to probably cut this in fourths to make it easier to work with again. Because why work harder when you can work smarter? Am I right? Okay, hold on. Let me think. Do I really even need this whole piece? I hate wasting, y'all. Anybody else feel that way? Like you pay good money for your craft supplies. Why are you gonna waste them? Okay, so now I got all this too. Look at that cute little square. All right, here we go. So I got 4 of these pieces and we're gonna stick them on the flat sides of this lamp, you guys. If you're just joining me, this is a lamp. This is a lamp that I got for my husband for when the power goes out here in Southern Oregon. That happens a lot. And so I thought he would like it. It was kind of a masculine looking lamp. And I thought for sure he'd love it. And he was like, that's a no for me. So, all right, fine. We'll paint it and make it over. Okay, so again, I love DIY. I love their products. This is DIY's liquid patina. This is a sealer, but it's also like a decoupage medium. Now you want to make sure when you're working on your projects, if it's directional, you want to make sure you're doing it the right direction. So I'm just gonna, I had my son pre-open these for me because I just knew for sure that I was going to be live and struggling, be on the struggle bus and not be able to open these things because sometimes they will seal themselves. So I'm just going to use a little brush here and go, you know, pretty close to the edges. I don't really want to go over the edge too much. Probably am making a mess because it is kind of like a rounded edge almost, if you see what I'm saying. You guys, do me a favor and bookmark my upcoming shows. I'm going to be coming on tonight for a giveaway. I think I want the words a lot. Like I like the words more than I like the flowers. Does that make sense? All right. And then I'm going to decoupage over the other side of it. Seal her on in. Make sure she's good and down. What's little Miss Crafty saying? Is she laughing at me? Oh, she's just letting y'all know that she's letting you guys know that you should follow me and come back. That's awesome. I am on YouTube, you guys. I'm on most of the social medias. I'm not really great at being consistent with that just because, you know, I get busy. I get busy. It's a thing. I'm a mom of 4, and even though my kids are grown, really they are, they're really not grown. They all still live with me. My oldest is 26. He is actually home this week because his work takes off a week every year. Like it's a mandatory, you're off, you're not getting paid for a week. It's kind of crazy, but it's a really good job for him. So we're just dealing with it, you know. Look at that. Look at that rose. I love the rose, y'all. Okay, we're gonna make sure that rose gets featured. So we maybe I'll wait and let this dry a little bit and then put the decoupage medium back on it. Okay, we're gonna do that. So he's off this week. Normally, honestly, it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, which happens to be kind of cool because it's a great time to have family time. But he was on the crew this year to do inventory for the end of the year. So he was one of the ones that worked during that time frame. And little did I know that meant he was going to have this week off instead. So I was like, oh, all right, well, okay. I just thought he dodged that bullet, you know what I mean? Okay, so there's another decoupage edge. I love it. Okay, this isn't really completely dry on this other side, but we're gonna go with it anyways. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Okay, so my oldest son, he works at a welding shop, and he's 26. And then I have a 22-year-old, and he is he works at a restaurant, and he is their primary main dishwasher, which, you know, it's all right. He's a dishwasher. It's okay. It's fine. He just has a lot of potential. And but he was one of those COVID graduating kids, you know what I mean? And that kind of messed him up, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so he is, but he just started college, you guys. I'm so excited. He just started college. He's taking 2 classes this semester. He just started college this week. So Monday was his first class, and today, this morning, was his second class. I'm super excited for him. Step in the right direction, and I'm all sorts of excited. Like, I'm not all about, yeah, good for him, right? I'm not all about like the whole college thing. Like, I don't think every kid needs to go to college. I did not, and look at me. I'm a total success. No, but um, it's not for everyone, and it depends on what your path is, right? But for him, like, college was definitely always like on his path. Like, so when COVID messed him up and he like wasn't going to go to college anytime soon, and he just can't find his way, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, the other day, or actually I got back from Arizona. I was in Arizona with my mom, and she had a health situation. So I was there for a month and a half. And when I got back, he told me he had registered for college. And I tell you, like, this was such a happy mama here. Like, I was just like, thank the Lord. So, and then I have a 20-year-old son, and he just graduated high school this June. And me and him went on um, a 3-week road trip together, and we flew to New York. We rented an RV, and we went all the way up from New York or New Jersey, because we got the RV in New Jersey. We went from New Jersey um to Maine along the coastline. Hi, Karen. And so we went on the coastline all the way up to Maine, and then from Maine, we drove on the inner part of the state and drove over to Massachusetts and Pennsylvania and actually, where did we go? We went to Connecticut. We went to Connecticut, and from Connecticut, we went over to New Jersey. We did some genealogy looking, Um, and in New Jersey, we went to the library and did some looking in their archives for some of my ancestry stuff. And then when we left there, we went grave hunting through New Jersey and let's see, Virginia. We went into West Virginia. We actually went to a house that my ancestor built in the 1700s, and went and checked out the house and was looking for the graves because they thought it might have been on the like the home site, but it doesn't appear that it was. But it's really hard because those headstones, I found that the ones from the 1800s, guys, I'm just going to go set this over by the fire again. Get it to warm up a little bit and dry. But if the ones that were built or made in like the 1800s were still standing for the most part, but they were mostly unlegible. The gravestones, I'm saying. And then um, the ones from like anything older than that were basically just crumbling. Just really sad to see. Sad to see that history just gone. So I think even if their gravestones were on their property, they had 500 acres back in the 1700s. And so who knows where. I used DIY's liquid patina. And I get my DIY products from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs. And my friend Little Miss Crafty here, she's my mod. She gets hers from Susie on the Farm. So you can choose who you'd like to look up. But There we go. Now you have two options. Okay, you guys, I have like a little piece of the brush in here, bristle going on, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to use my sandpaper real quick and get that out of there. Um, yeah, it's called liquid patina. And they have different patinas. Like I was using the dark and decrepit liquid patina. That's what I put on um, my cutting board and things like that, because the cutting board um, isn't going to be cut on. You know what I'm saying? Like it was already painted and all the things. If I was going to use a cutting board and do something on it and they were going to use it later, hold on. Let me grab my product here. Um, then I would use this product line myself. This is Sweet Pickens, and this is their oil wax, and this is food safe. So, I mean, definitely look it up and like read the instructions and all the things. Like, don't just quote me and let me food poison you and all. But yeah, that's what I would use. Okay, so you guys, if you guys can see, like I did my first coat, kind of messy, and I went this direction. And now that I'm going to do my second coat, I want to go the opposite direction of the paint lines. So that, you know, if for chance somebody is looking at this really close, hopefully they're not going to be seeing all the paint lines, and it'll fill in the cracks and all the things, you guys. So this is a plate, kind of like an underplate that was from Pure One. I think I got it at the probably at the bins, the Goodwill bins, because that's what I tend to do. It was a one-off. It was never going to be something. I mean, you could have made like a centerpiece situation out of this. But as far as its intended purposes, like no one wants just one random piece, right? I mean, unless they live alone, but that's sad. Okay, I think if I lived alone, I'd still set a table for two. I don't know. But anyways, okay. So, yeah, you set a table for two and then you only have to do dishes, like, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing. You just set it up and then you don't have to. Oy. Okay, I need a turning table that's smaller than my project, but okay. Well, we're working with what we got here, right? I do have turning tables, y'all, and I do like to use them, but do I have it right here now? No. We're using a paint or a tape dispenser center piece. I use them as risers. I use them. Yeah, I mean, why not? They're free, right? You've already paid for them with your tape, so you might as well use what you got, you know? Um, so anyways, so yeah, we went, and then we went, me and my son on our road trip, since I'm still talking about that, I think. You guys will learn if you guys keep following me on this journey. I very much get squirreled very easily. But anyways, so we went from Pennsylvania, we went into Ohio, where I met up with my aunt and my cousins, and on my dad's side. And for the first time, I got to see where my dad was born and grew up. He was there in Ohio until his teenage years. My dad was the youngest of five children, which is kind of fun because my mom is the middle of five children. So my dad was the youngest of five, and he has since passed, but his sister now lives in their old hometown. Um, and when my dad was a teenager, they moved from Ohio to Arizona, where he met my mom. And so I had never seen where he grew up or anything. And so I met my aunt there, and it was the first time my aunt had met my son. And my son thinks that my aunt is just a kick in the pants. He just, when we look back, I mean, we did a lot of things on our trips. Like we went to, when we started in New York, we went to the Statue of Liberty, and we went and saw the World Trade Center, and we did all that kind of stuff, you know. So we did stuff, y'all. Okay, Blue Iris from DIY Paint. That's what I'm using. You're going to see it goes on pretty dark, and then as it dries, it's going to lighten up. It's chalk paint. That's what we're using. I'm going to set it back aside. We're going to go get our decoupage paper real fast and keep working one project at a time while each piece is drying. I'm going to put wood in my fireplace real fast because it needs it. Ah, okay. Okay, so back to our decoupage project, y'all. So yeah, my son he thought my aunt was so fun, which was really sweet. It was sweet to be able to share that with him, and she was so cute and excited. It was, you know, it being the first time she got to meet him, and she moved out of Arizona when I was a teenager. And so she hasn't met any of my dad's grandkids very much. So you guys, I'm just getting this as I'm just working and not saying anything. I'm just getting this decoupage paper wet, this rice paper wet, and then I'm just kind of pulling it away from the edge so that it should, where I did not glue it, it should just kind of pop away as it's wet. And then I'll probably go back with sandpaper and distress and get a cleaner edge. But this at least gives me a rough, like, space of what we're looking at here. So, anyways, so my son, yeah, got to meet my aunt. It was really cute. And she was so excited to meet him, which was made it even better. And she's no spring chicken either. Like, my dad, like I said, my dad was the youngest, and he was kind of a what the heck kind of baby because there is a 15-year gap between my dad's closest sibling and him. He was definitely not expected, and my grandma was very old as a mom. And so my dad grew up with all of his nieces and nephews. Thank you so much, Little Miss Crafty, for letting them know what I'm doing here. And so yeah, so my aunt is 86. I think she said she was turning 86. And my dad passed away when he was 62. So quite a difference in age, you know. And my poor aunt, bless her heart, she's had now out of the five, um, it's just her and her twin sister left. And her twin sister, who I got to see also, my other aunt, has dementia really bad. And so really my one aunt is the only one with a sound mind that is still with us. And so anyways, it was a sweet part to the trip for sure. But so yeah, so my son and I, we went from there. We just traveled across. We went to Minnesota, went to my dad's grave and saw two of my sisters there. And then I'm one of five, you guys. So my dad was one of five, my mom was one of five, and I am one of five. So I saw two of my sisters in Minnesota on this road trip. And then I went to Iowa from there and saw my sister that lives in Iowa. And then we went on and made our way to Jackson, Wyoming, where we went to go see the Grand Tetons, which y'all, I don't know. They ain't that grand. I'm just saying. Yeah, I was disappointed. I had never actually seen the Grand Tetons until then. I am 45 and I've traveled quite a bit, but I'd never like we'd gone do um we went to Yellowstone and all that, and I know that's pretty close, but I'd never actually gone to go see them. So I thought, okay, we're on the way. We're just going to go see them. Yeah, they're just mountains, y'all. I mean, I'm thinking like maybe because um people were coming from back east, and you guys have hills back there. You don't have mountains, you have hills. I'm just saying. And so like maybe they were like, wow, that is like so cool, look at those big mountains. But for me, living in the west, like I'm from Southern Oregon. I actually grew up in Arizona. um and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I was not impressed by the Grand Tetons. They were not so grand, in my opinion. So I really need to find. Technically, y'all, I should be using like my little hand finger sander. That would work much better than this. So maybe do as I say, not as I do. And you probably should wait till it's super dry. Just saying. But I'm trying to be quick about it. So I'm just gonna sand the edges and get off all of this extra paper. And bonus, I'm also sanding the edges of my circle here, or my circle, my oval, whatever you want to call it, which is going to distress it. So, and the nice thing is it's just paint, and if you don't like it, you can paint over it, right? So this went from a dark brown, kind of masculine base to this now more feminine, kind of springy. I don't know though. I think you could use this in fall. Kind of got a fall look to it. This probably also would sand much smoother and prettier if I didn't have 80 grit. But we're just working with what we got today. Sometimes you just got to do that. So just make sure that when you're sanding your paper, that you're going away from the center, because otherwise you might pull it back up. Now what I'll probably do is, after I get this all distressed the way I want it, I'm going to seal this in, which will seal back in any edges that are coming loose. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of want to go and get, the edges down here sanded and really kind of distress this up and kind of bring back some of that darker wood that was underneath. And I think that'll look really good. There's also another edge right here, but I might wait till I get my finger sander to get that edge, because I kind of feel like I'm just gonna, or maybe I'll wet distress that piece right there, but I feel like I just can't get a good angle in on it. You know what I'm saying? So this lip right here seems to be easy to get a hold of, but I don't want to sand where I don't want to, even though I can technically go back with some paint and touch up. But why do that if you don't have to, right? Work smarter, not harder. That is the motto. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? You liking it? Is it better than it originally was? I think it kind of is. And then I'm kind of looking at this, and I see this here and this lip here. And I kind of feel like maybe this needs like some jute or some ribbon. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I think maybe some velvet. Oh, velvet would be really pretty. I think velvet could be really pretty on here. Maybe like some red or pink or green velvet ribbon. That could be really good. Just saying. What do you guys think? Jute to kind of like masculine it up a little bit, make it a little more rustic? Or y'all thinking maybe it would be better with the ribbon? No jute. Okay. I don't know. Do they make, I mean, not that I can't cut it. Do they make velvet ribbon that is like super thin? Hmm. Oh, make it ribbon that you can move instead of like gluing it down. Oh, I bet you I could do like glue dots or something. You know what I mean? Because I have found ribbon that is, what is that, like 1/8? Something like this. But I think this is like jute size at the very top. It's not super thin. You know what I mean? Or it's super thin, not, do they make it like that? Or do I just cut it? Maybe I could just cut the one that I have, you know? What do y'all think? Anybody else agreeing with Little Miss Crafty there and saying that we should do velvet on this? You think? You think? I think that could be really cute. Oh, I don't know though. I don't know if like um I do have some velvet ribbon that does, like I bought it and it has raveled edges, but I don't know if I can actually ravel the edges on what is already made. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if velvet does that. I mean, just ribbon. We could try it, right? I mean, everything's worth a go. I mean, I could do, you know what I could do? I could get fabric and we could put fabric on it. I really like using, oh, crushed velvet. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea. I like to go to the fabric store, y'all. And the fabric store people hate me. I love, you know what? I tear all of my fabric, not just homespun. Um, and you guys, I use fabric as ribbon all the time. All the time. And because you can find so many better colors and patterns sometimes when you do that. So I do that a lot, and I do like to tear it. Not to say that it always like that's the only way to do it, but I do like to tear it. And so the people at the fabric store, when I am going to go get fabric for my ribbon, they hate me because I have like a mountain high pile of different fabrics, and I go up to the cut counter and I'm like, yeah, I need like 1/8 of a yard of all of these or 1/4 of a yard of all of these, because really I'm only going to use them on a couple projects, you know? And so like they never say anything, but I would assume if I was working there, I would be like, seriously, lady? Like, and I really do. Like, I'll step aside if there's somebody else that comes, comes up and needs something cut. I'll be like, go ahead and help them first. And, because, that's just rude. And so I try to be, not a pain, but at the same time, I love using fabric for ribbon. So maybe I'll do that if I don't like the look of or I can't get the, if I can't get the velvet to do what I think I want it to do. So, okay. And you guys, what I think I'm going to do is take a picture of all these projects I'm working on today and put them on my social media and show off the finished projects. So like my TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, I'll probably do. And then if I'm selling them and they're not for me personally, they'll be in upcoming shows here on Whatnot. So, because I don't sell anywhere else, just on Whatnot. Just Whatnot. which we have shows going all kinds of times. And so you can always find us on doing something different. We've got book shows, we've got, I don't know, I'm really excited. Like Little Miss Crafty said, I'm really excited for the Zero to Heroes raid train that's coming up at the end of the month. I'm really excited to do something kind of like this, either at the end of the month or we're going to do it at the beginning of February. I did talk to the train host, and she's going to check in with the co-host and see if they want to possibly move the date of the train to the next day, because I am doing Zero to Heroes on that same day. But so anyways, I'm just gonna use my damp cloth here and kind of just try to seal down any of those edges that maybe pulled up a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to reseal this when I'm all done, but I don't want any of the dust to like adhere. Or there we go, you guys. Look at how cute that turned out. I love it. I think that turned out so good. So I am going to seal it in. I'm probably going to distress this, like this ribbed line right here, a little bit better when I can get something that can kind of get down in there a little bit better. I don't want to do it the way it is now. And then this is rounded, so it won't distress very good. Okay, bye, Little Miss Crafty. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You guys go bookmark Little Miss Crafty's shows and give her a follow. She's pretty awesome. I'll probably add some ribbon in there, or maybe a some fabric or something. But here we go. It was dark brown. This is the little insert that goes in it. It was wood. And then here is that top piece here. So here we go. One more mostly finished project, a little more feminine now, and super cute. I'm just going to seal it in after I get that little bit of distressing done down at the bottom. Put some ribbon or fabric on it, and that'll be ready to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Turned out really cute. Okay, you guys, we have one more project to do. So here is the underneath side of this tray. Okay, let me see about cleaning up my space just a little bit before I flip this over. This is now, we've gotten 3 projects. We've got this one left to go for today's show. And thank you so much. I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, getting back to my roots of being a crafter. I did use chalk paint. This backside I am going to seal for sure. And this is the lighter color after the chalk paint has dried. This is kind of like the darker, but the way it, you know, when it dries. So once I put the sealer on it, it's probably going to go back to this darker color. This is the color it was originally. So this is like a paint, like a charger, like a plate charger is what this originally was from Pure One. I found it. There was only one of them. So we're going to change it up. We're going to do something different with it, upcycle it. And so I was thinking of the patriotic look for this project. And so I'm using DIY's chalk paint. This is Blue Iris. I get my paint from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs, and you can get it on unicorndustdesigns.com. And she sells the DIY paint. I was once a distributor for them as well, but I've closed my brick and mortar, and so I'm just using my supplies. But once I run out, Sammy will be where I get it from. So check her out if you need any of those supplies. She sells a lot of other craft items as well. I call her, I laugh and say she's my craft dealer. So anyways, chalk paint I love though. This stuff has really great coverage. But it, you know, chalk paint goes on pretty much anything. You can pretty much put it on anything. So, that's why I prefer chalk paint over like acrylic or anything like that. And also, if you wanted to like wet distress or you didn't want it permanent, it's super easy to work with in that fashion as well. Um, so you'll find a lot of people use it with furniture a lot because it is so easy to work with and wet distress. And like this surface, I did not prep this at all. All I did to it was wash it up with just water. I just made sure that it was pretty cleaned off from dust. And I mean, if it had signs of like oils and stuff, you probably would want to use like a Dawn soap or something like that. But this looked pretty clean when I found it, so I felt pretty good about just using the water. And so this is going to go on just fine with just the paint. And it'll just need 2 coats. Now, if I was going to use a lighter color on this dark surface like this, I probably would have sealed it in first, maybe with like a clear primer or a white primer, or even, you can even sometimes put something um, like a decoupage type medium on there to seal, but so that the tannins don't come out. But since it's a darker color, I think it's good. Okay, guys, I'm going to step away for just a second. I'm putting this over by my wood stove just so that it kind of speeds up the drying process a little bit with the heat. And I want to share with you guys while we're giving it a second for that to dry, for all those that are just coming in, I want to share with you guys some of the projects I've already done today. So this is a kids checkers board basically. And I went ahead and gave it a rough scuff with a 80 grit sandpaper just to kind of break up the sheen on there. And it was a little bit bright when I started, so I kind of wanted to be able to dull it down a little bit. So I rough scuffed it, and then as you can see, and then I added the Dark and Decrepit DIY liquid patina to it to seal it in and to darken it down a little bit, to give it a little bit of a darker look. And then I applied this pattern on here, the America the Beautiful song pattern here. This is a screen print transfer that I put on here with the crinoline. Oh gosh, with the crinoline DIY paint. Okay, so that's what's on that. So this was the first project that I got finished today. Super cute. Easy project, but it's done. Hooray, one down, one down. Thank you so much. And then you guys saw the lamp that I did. This is mostly done. It was a dark brown color, like that color. Okay, dark brown. And this is without putting um, any kind of sealer on it first. I just went straight on with that crinoline. And so you can see this is 2 coats. It's got pretty good coverage. I should say 2.5 coats because I did stipple some paint on afterwards just to get rid of some of the brush strokes. But I did not do like a primer or anything like that on this. So it gets good coverage. Now that on the bottom, I probably will clean it up before I seal it, just with a washcloth. just wet water on there, and that paint will come right off, and I'll make a clean edge on the bottom, and then this will be ready to go. I'm probably going to add like a ribbon or something to that. Okay, and then you guys, before we go and be able to finish this last project, I want to share with you guys something I have coming up. So either on the 31st of this month or the 1st of next month. I don't know. They're talking about maybe moving the date by a day. But I already have it in my shows, so it can be bookmarked. I'm going to be doing a second chance show. And basically, it's like this show here. We're going to be live. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a project and upcycling it live. And then once we're done upcycling it during our live, we have to finish it in the time slot. Then we're going to auction it off. And so this is the piece I'm going to work on for that. I'm going to paint it up. I'm going to distress it, and we're going to do all the things to it and make it super cute and update it, because this is pretty outdated. It is still really super cute and it's got great bones, but it is outdated, I feel. So we're gonna give it a makeover. So you guys, if you're here, who wants to vote on a color of this for me? So I'm kind of like leaning some different ways, because it is going to kind of pull back when I wet distress it. It's going to pull back this darker, pretty brown color, which I don't hate. So I have to think about that when I am planning it, because the only other option I have is I could go over it with white and bring out all the details with like a white wax or something like that, and not wet distress back to the original. That's also an option, but we could go with like a cowgirl coral. That's a kind of cute with browns. We could do something like a flirtatious. That's kind of a really bright pop, kind of flowery, kind of pretty. Um, we could always go with the classic, which is aviary. Or no, this is apothecary. Apothecary. So there's that option. We've got the option of like sea glass. That's a really pretty bluish green. Um, we could go with like mint chip. That could be good. But then I was also thinking, what if we went and did something like wild and crazy, and we went straight up copper? What do you guys think? Let me know. What do you guys think? What color scheme should I go with when I redo this piece? I'm kind of all over the place. I don't know. So if you guys have an opinion, let me know. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you have an opinion, put it down in the comments. Let me know, what color do you think I should do for this piece? I'm really excited about it. That's going to be a fun um, that's going to be a fun one to do live. And then we also, um, we also have on the 31st for sure, we have something called Zero to Hero Raid Train. And what we're going to be doing is taking a piece that we got for either free, so zero, or very close to free. I'm talking like less than $5, and giving it an upcycle. And then we're going to be coming on for 15 minutes, showing you guys what we did to it, showing you guys what it originally looked like, and then we're going to auction it off. The person who gets the most for their upcycled piece wins for the month. And what do they win? Well, that would be bragging rights for the most part, but they also get to win selling a really awesome piece that they got to upcycle. So this is my piece, you guys. This is what I'm going to be making over. It is like a little step stool, and I mean, it was probably cute back in its day, but its day has passed. It needs some help. So we're going to get all that yucky upholstery off of there. It's going to get a paint job, and I think I'm going to do something really cool with it. So yeah, bookmark that one as well, because that's going to be really, really fun. I'm looking over at our plate, our charger, and it's all, our first coat is almost dry. So I'm almost ready to get started on the next step. Now, this is the other project we finished today. I did um, I did not paint these strawberries, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an artist. Somebody with the initials SAB did back in '79. But I did find this piece like this, and I used my laser etcher, cutter, whatever you want to call it. And I put this recipe on the back here. So we just gave it a little bit of a we sanded around the edges just to distress it back a little bit. And then I did seal it in with the Dark and Decrepit DIY liquid patina, and gave it a richer tone, sealed in this freshly cut wood. And just in case that paint was not sealed in, now it is. It is not food safe, but that's okay, because neither side is going to be cut on, right? I would hope not. So this project is done and ready to go. So that's exciting. And yeah, we're finishing up our last project, you guys. I'm excited for this one. This one's gonna be good. We're working on a cloche base. So this was a charger from Pure One. I found it and it was just the one. And so we're giving it a color over the top that is patriotic in theme. And so we just have to finish our second coat on it, and then we'll be letting it dry really, really good. I'll probably let it dry for probably 24 hours, like really give it a good amount of time to, you know, seal in. Sometimes chalk paint does better when you do it like that. Welcome in, you guys. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm working on some projects. This is my fourth project for the day. And we're just making this over so that we can put a cloche on the top of it. And we're using DIY's paint line for this one. And this is the color Blue Iris. And I get my DIY paints from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs. She carries the DIY line. Now, I did already put the first coat on here, and as you can see, it was a dark brown color. Like, it's got good coverage, but it does have those streaks in there, and I don't really care for the streaks. On the back side, I did do two coats already, and it's pretty much ready to go. So this front side, though, this is the side everybody's going to see. So this is the side I want to make sure has the finish that I like. So I just like to take, oh, see, and I don't want to shake you guys too much. I just like to take my paint and just kind of stipple it on. And that kind of gets rid of your paint lines. It gives it a little bit of texture, but not too much. It's mostly just about not having paint lines, you know what I'm saying? And it helps finish that coverage. So, so that's what I do with my paint, is just kind of stipple it. And so we're going to give this that second coat with the stippling and let it dry. And after it's dry, you guys, this thing is going to be ready to sit for 24 hours. I like to give it 24 hours. That's just so that I can make sure that, you know, it's good and dry and good. It's gonna, like, because it is chalk paint and it has, this brand, I have some little bristles coming out. This brand actually uses clay in their chalk mixture. So this is a clay-based chalk paint, and so it's gonna dry like super hard. Like, it is not going to it's not going to rub off, that's for sure. but we still need to seal it because, like, chalk paint needs to be sealed, you guys. It is water soluble. So even though it's not gonna like come flaking off or whatever, if you get this thing wet, it's gonna wanna kind of come up. Okay, so it's going to move around, I should say. So we don't want to have that happen. So once it's dried for 24 hours, I'm going to come in with either a wax or like we have a big top um, sealer that you can put on it. You can put liquid patina on it, like a Mod Podge almost. You could do that. I probably will wax it. Wax is kind of my favorite sealer if I am not looking to if I'm not wanting to make it food safe, which I'm not. And also, there's no real texture on here. If there was texture, and let's say I had like a mold or something with details on it, like that other plate that I'm going to be doing for the second chance, like a colored wax would work really, really well because it's going to bring out those details. So, see the coverage on that, you guys. I'm hoping that'll show through. So good. It is so good. Um, okay, so that's probably what I would do, but because this is just going to be a decor piece, and I really like the wax. I think that the clear wax, um, it goes on so buttery smooth, first of all, and then it dries so nice. And that's actually what sold me on the DIY paint line was the wax. I had used other waxes and I just wasn't like, I wasn't finding success, I should say. And, we don't, crafting is not supposed to be frustrating, y'all. It is just not. It's supposed to be fun and therapeutic and all the things. And so when you can find a product line that you like that does all that for you and you're enjoying your crafting and not struggling, yeah, you want to stick with and use that line. So DIY does that for me. Like I said, I used to sell their product line when I had my brick and mortar. Um, and now that I don't, I actually get my supplies from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs. She is here on Whatnot, but she's also a YouTuber, and that's actually where I first saw her, was on YouTube. And then I also know that she's like on all the other social medias as well. So we've become pretty good friends, and she's a very sweet lady. And so I'm happy to refer you guys to her. I laugh and say she's my craft dealer because I also get um, my IOD products from her. She was selling at one point a Royce Cycle decoupage rice paper. So she's definitely in the craft world and does that kind of stuff. So it's really fun when you find someone that you have a lot in common with and you can find some common ground and bond because we all like to do pretty much the same thing. It's kind of like if you find someone that likes antiques and vintage decor, it's like those are your people, right? It's kind of that same thing. I guess it'd be like car people. Car people like car people. They like people that they can have a conversation with, and they understand each other. They understand their likes and dislikes, and their commonality. I'm sure we all can find something in common with each other, but yeah. So anyways, so that's where I get my supplies from now is Sammy, and like I said, we have some my friend Marianne that was on here as my mod earlier. She has a friend Susie on the farm. Again, a really great crafter and YouTuber, and she gets her DIY and IOD craft supplies from her. And you know, we all have our own people that we prefer and know, um, and support. And so, but if you're looking for someone that you need some supplies from, there you go. You can use my girl Sammy. So, okay, you guys, I have made now 4 projects. I'm feeling really good about this and what we've been able to accomplish. And so, um, I will be posting all of my finished projects on my social media. I am on most of the social medias. So within the next day or two, once I get them all um, sealed in and distressed and all the things, I will be putting them on social media so everybody can see them and what they ended up looking like completely finished. It's kind of hard to show that on a live because obviously, we've got to let things dry and cure and all the things. This plate here is going to get the cloche and probably some flowers around the greenery, around the wreath, and then something patriotic on the inside, and that'll be going into if not one of my stars and swipes raid trains that I'm doing. I'm doing that every month on the 4th. And so we will get this put in there. And then some of the other projects I did today definitely will be in upcoming shows. So bookmark my upcoming shows. And I thank you guys so very much for joining me today on this live. It was a lot of fun creating with you guys. I'm excited to get back into my creative zone and do these shows more often. So thank you guys again. I appreciate you guys. Let's go raid somebody. Let's go find somebody that we can bless with our presence. And we will catch you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.